Hello, 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 my beautiful people. It's your awesome DJ, one and only host of the Awesome Artist Interviews. Definitely, I gotta tell you guys, thank you once again for staying tuned and blossoming this beautiful timeline and YouTube page of mine. Definitely shout out to you guys. But here is another most magnificent lady of poetry. She is an entrepreneur, business owner. The girl got her own author books of awesome education. And then on top of that, she's an awesome, brilliant mother. But we cannot forget, it's the one and only Nikki D, poet.
How Thank you for having me.
Finally, right?
Listen, I stood up in your DM. I'm like, all right, I was waiting for you to contact me. I stood up, I'm like, yo, what's up with an interview? Like, so that goes to show you, don't be afraid to sign these people DMs and ask for what you want.
Exactly. Never be afraid to even hit me up and say, hey, I want to have my time and shine too. And trust me, that's what Miss Nikki did. She came right to my DM, said, yo, I see you got all these great people, but you don't got me.
Right.
And I was like, it's okay, it's all right, I got you.
I feel like you be interviewing a lot of people from Jersey, so I had to come through and bring my little Philly swag.
Listen, you had to represent the Philly. Represent Philly. Listen, and I can't blame her, but definitely it is so exciting to have you right here on my page, and I just can't wait to explore that beautiful brain of yours. But definitely it was just so cool, even from the moment, I mean, I've seen your work, we're going to go into details, but I've seen your work through Facebook, and I first interacted with your art and your showcase that you have, which was one of the little short, it wasn't really a short video, it was more so a short live video, talking about the single mothers. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
It was talking about the single mothers, and
excuse me.
Oh, bless you again. But it was all the mothers, and it was a really amazing conversation, down to being not just a mom, but a woman of color, and how it can be a little bit of trials and tribulations in motherhood, and the ideas and worries and such. And that was just such a magnificent conversation. And like I said, I always had my eyes on you. It was just me being me. But I was so glad that you did come up and say, yo, like, what is up?
Right.
So I know everybody's going to want to understand and want to know, who in the heck is Miss Nikki D? Tell me, who the heck are you?
So, I'm Nikki D, the poet, everyone. Nice to meet you guys. I'm nothing but a former shy girl who found her voice with poetry, and now I basically use poetry to help others find their voice. That's a little fancy way of saying that basically I use my childhood experiences, my faith-based interaction, as well as my victories as a single mom, to paint this picture of my words, to paint a picture of hope, to paint a picture of self-love and self-confidence, which was something that I really liked. I'm sorry, my cat is trying to climb on my lap as I speak. But that was something that like I struggled with growing up, and I felt as though like a lot of the stuff that I went through, if I would have knew that you see her, if I would have knew that earlier, then I could have saved myself the heartache. So I always, like, in the frame of mind whenever I'm doing something, is to be the person that I needed when I was younger. If I can be that to somebody, I feel like that's my way of giving back.
True. And I noticed it was a own journey and path that you had with poetry. Poetry was the first thing that you did as a form of art, correct? It was more so of a like outlet for you in the beginning.
Yes. So I've been writing poetry since the age of 10. So that's why I have this poem to say I've been sick with the pen since the age of 10. So I've been writing poetry since the age of 10. It was always an outlook for me because I've grown up, I had a hard time verbalizing out of my mouth my feelings, and the only way I can I thought that I can get it out was through writing. But for a long time I didn't share my writing because I felt as though nobody really care what I had to say. Like, they didn't care what a little black girl from Philly had to say. Like, they already care. I feel like growing up, people already, especially growing up as a woman of color, you're already categorized before you even open your mouth. So I felt as though, like, people already categorized me. I was going to be nothing, especially since, you know, I had a child out of wedlock at the age of 20. So for people, they already assumed that I was going to just be nothing but a failure, living off welfare all my life. So I felt as though nobody really cared what I had to say. But then I'm like, if I feel like this and I have all these poems and this beautiful journey that I went through, it would really be foolish of me if I die. All them poems is going to die with me, and nobody will be getting helped by my story. And I truly believe that we go through stuff not just to build our character, but to help someone else. Like, if my stupid mistakes can help someone else not make those stupid mistakes and push them farther and push the next generation farther in life, then I feel as though I'm doing my job and making my contribution to society. Because people, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but the Bible says be fruitful and multiply, and people think that only means children. But I mean, I can be corrected, but I'm wrong, any pastors or whatever. I don't think that only means children. Is basically what are you planning into the world. And so many times on social media we see twerking, we see people of color fighting, we see people of color, especially women of color going against each other, women of color getting in competition. But how many people do you see uplifting each other, trying to get the next generation? And Ambition the Poet, who many people don't know, me and him go like way back. Like, we grew up in the same church. Like, I know his family, he knows my family. And when he found out that I had my first book of poetry, he started really pouring into me to help me get me out that shell, to help me basically find the power within my voice. And I'm like, if somebody can do that to me, and he didn't charge me a thing, and he didn't really have to do it, it's like, why wouldn't I pour that back into other people?
That's true. 100%. No, seriously. Definitely shout out to Ambition, because also Ambition was on the show. If you guys didn't see that interview, definitely check that out on YouTube. Ambition was on to this page, and he actually helped me get connected with Nikki as well, because he did recommend you. And I didn't know that you guys actually knew each other through church. Look how God works. God works. But it's just fascinating. I love that you do mention, being fruitful, because some people, once again, they think from the perspective of, being fruitful by multiplying many kids. But it's not just that. It's just planting the seed to others to grow right along with that same passion, that dream, that hope, that faith. We can make others blossom equally by the most smallest, like God just say, as long as you have faith as a mustard seed. And
I don't think people realize how small a grain, and not even a mustard seed, a grain of a mustard seed. You can't even see that with the human eye. And like, because people look at these poets, and I said this at the end of last year. I said that I'm much more than just open mic poet. And I know some poets were just looking like, what you mean? Like, I don't think that my whole mission with my poetry, because I do believe my poetry is a ministry. And some people like, well, sometimes you be cussing, like, the way you reach people is the way you reach people. I don't have to be behind the pulpit, or I don't have to be quoting scriptures. But I believe that Jesus and his ministry, and I don't mean to sound like a preacher, I do apologize, but I am a church girl, and sometimes it just try to spill out of me. Sometimes I can't help it. But Jesus' ministry was what? It was love. It was the way you treat people. So I feel as though I can show people love, and the most important love there is to have is self-love.
Self-love, yeah.
If you love yourself, like, I can't teach somebody how to love me if I don't love myself. I can't be in a relationship with someone else if I don't truly love myself. But once I got that self-love down, when I tell you doors after doors began to open for me, and not just in the poetry round. Once I got that self-love in the poetry round, doors started opening on my job. I was more confident in my job. I was able to stop picking the wrong type of men. Shout out to my boyfriend, who is amazing. But once I got self-love, I was able to stop picking stop picking the wrong type of men and stop settling and able to get what I deserve. So I feel like self-love and me on this self-love journey and this self-love poet, and especially like breaking out of the shyness, because I didn't know that was a whole untapped market. Like I didn't know, like this time last year, I didn't know I would be Nikki D, the former Shy Girl, because it was literally just a book, The Shy Girl Speaks, and it wasn't even the original name of the book. And I'm so grateful that this book done transformed into this whole movement. It was like literally beyond anything I can imagine.
That is so true. Which is so fascinating. That you used your personal experience to capture that inspiration throughout your entire journey, from performances of your art and definitely down to your business. Because not only you do the books, you also have clothing as well too. I mean, it's just fascinating how it took one little small thing to transpire to many others. And I wanted also too, you got a up and coming book pretty soon. Called Crown. Let me show the folks your Instagram real quick too, and tell us about Crown, because that's the biggest thing you're promoting right now.
Well, besides the play on May 2nd.
Oh yeah, that's it too. May 2nd is the play that you're gonna be in, the poetry play.
Yes, and that is I cannot wait. It's so dynamic. That play is I feel like it's really going to touch people, because even in rehearsals it was like touching me. Basically Ambition the Poet is telling his story about being in foster care, but through his trauma we're also talking about some of the stuff that we have to overcome. I don't want to give too much away because you guys I'm so excited. I'm just saying it's definitely gonna be worth the money. It like you're gonna be touched. You might cry. That's what I'm gonna say. You might cry. But the book Crown, this book is basically taking me through a journey, because you know how it's the saying, it takes a village. But sometimes you growing up, and I talked a little bit about the expectations of society. You could have so many people expectations on you that a lot of times our 20s is so rough, because we're spending our 20s shaking off all this expectation that people had put on us, had burned us down for so long, and now that we're 20, we're finally coming into our own. So basically that's what this book is about. It's like you have to abandon everything you know. Like me, I had to abandon everything I know in order for me to get to the other side, to be happy and healed. Because as long as I was holding on to those other people expectations of me, as long as I was letting other people box me in, I would never be happy. Like even with my poetry, while I was doing my poetry last year, and this was the biggest thing me and Ambition was going head to head on, because he's like, I feel you like still being contained, you still censoring yourself. And that was because I was so fearful of what other people would say if I wrote about certain topics, because like I said, I did grow up in a holiness Pentecostal background. So I'm like, listen, if I touch on certain topics, I know they're gonna be looking at me like giving me the side eye, but that is not freedom. Like I have to be free to express me and do what is best for me and what makes Nikki happy, regardless of what it looks like to others. So that's what basically Crown is about.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It was really intriguing because it's pretty much about self-discovery, self-journey, self-love. I mean, everything within yourself. And it's all in different forms of, once again, it's poem itself, Life is a big giant book. And I think you pretty much sum a great idea of just, giving us a moment to be in your shoes. And not even just that, but realize like we all, in all form of our lives, we've been in that position before too, where we forgot, put your crown right back up. And I am so excited to see this book come out and everything, because I know for a fact it is not easy producing a book.
Yes.
So I definitely applaud you for finally getting it to that up and coming day. And I know
I'm excited. This is poetry book number 4.
Yeah, that's right. This is 4.
Yeah, this is poetry book number 4, but this is the 5th book that I published. I do have 3 other books of poetry. You guys can check that out on Amazon or my personal website, NickiDThePoet.org. And then I also published a book, because I know it's hard publishing books. And like my first book, I went through a publishing company, and I didn't like it at all. It's a book, basically. It's called The Shy Girl Guide to Self-Publishing. So it's basically a guide helping people self-publish. Because I know a lot of poets out there that be like, I want to publish a book. And they think you have to go through this publishing company, which really be like, they really be playing in poets' face. Like, period. Like, they always trying to lowball us. They always be trying to get our money. So we need to learn how to self-publish so we can keep our own coins and our own royalties, which is very, very much important, because when you go to a publishing company, sometimes they got royalty for your words. And I'll be darned if I'm spending all this time to write all these pieces to put it together in this book form, and you think you're about to get all my royalties and all my credits? No.
Ooh, it's a little bit of pop in this. Dang.
Like, people think just because you're a poet, you're not gonna collect the bag. They don't think there's no money in there. But like, come on, you could be a poet and get this bag too.
I love it. Now that was all Philly right there, because now you can collect this bag.
Like, we gonna help people heal, but while we helping people heal, we still gonna collect the bag. Like, no.
Everybody, hashtag collect this bag. So definitely, I'm listen, you just like mind blow me in every form in the way. But I know people really gonna want to see. We got to see what you're gonna perform today. What is the piece that you choose for today?
Okay, I'm gonna perform a piece called "Words Hurt Too," which is basically a piece talking about verbal abuse, because a lot of people don't think that verbal abuse is really abuse. They think that just because I don't have a black eye, or you can't see any scratches or any marks, or I'm not walking with a limp, that abuse isn't there. But a lot of times, physical abuse is just the manifestation of verbal abuse. So words can hurt too.
Yeah. Well, definitely you got the stage.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words, they hurt too. Have you ever tried to explain wounds that no one can see? It's so easy to detect a victim once blood has been shed, but what about me? It's because there's no x-ray, no CAT scan, no MRI machine that can easily detect my hurt doesn't make it any less real. There's no IV they can give me to replenish all the self-love that has been diminished. And even when this outer layer of skin has finished undoing the harm that he has done and has completely healed, my heart will never feel the same way again. There's no peroxide strong enough to take the stain out of his words. It plays like a broken record, over and over and over. I wish someone would just change the channel. And he tried to bend it by saying he was sorry. He tried to sweep it under the rug by saying he was just mad. He even tried to blame the alcohol that he had as if it would magically erase the pain. But even Mr. Clean could see that I was already permanently stained. He would build me up just to tear me down. He would build me up just to tear me down. He would build me up just to tear me down. You see, I was caught in the cycle. And it wasn't until I thought enough was enough, I would pack my bags and prepare to leave. And he would magically morph into the person that I wanted him to be. Maybe I was just so blinded by his potential that I saw only what I wanted to see. Because after all, I was just a young girl, foolishly looking for someone to love. So every time something would happen, I would forgive him. I would stay, hoping and praying that this would be the time that he finally changed. But even a broken clock is right twice a day.
There we go. Yay! Oh my gosh, where do we even begin on this one? We about to go.
I just give a kid candy.
Yes, you did. Everybody say yes. Wow. Words hurt too. So when did you first when did you started the whole, progression of just, I gotta write this? What made you say this is the time, this is the moment?
It was actually I wrote that last year, last November, as a part of the series that I was writing during Domestic Violence Month, just deploying all the different types of domestic violence. Because, like I said, people just turn to the fist face, but it's a whole lot of psychological things that build up before the actual act of physical violence starts. It start as I went through the beginning phases of the relationship and how it's certain signs that we definitely miss in relationships that if we pay attention to, it would basically help us along the way. And like I said, I start off the series by saying how I'm talking about how society and women, and there's so much pressure on us to have that significant other. It's certain type of women in society. You have the career woman, the independent women. You have the one that want that. Then you have the housewife, and then like I said, me having a child young, people will automatically assume, okay, unfortunately, my son's dad wasn't really in his life, so they okay, you need to find a father figure for your child. You need to find a man. You need to find a husband, and that pressure pushed me into some relationships that I probably had no business going in, and then just looking for love in the wrong places. And it's not because I had wonderful parents. Shout out to my parents because they definitely did raise me right. But it's the love for your parents and the love for your family is not the same as someone holding you at night.
Yeah,
that it's not the same. It's always that void. And then I feel like the whole term other half, that in it itself, I feel like we need to really start changing that language, because I'm looking for my other half. So that makes it look like, to me, as being single, I'm not complete, I'm not whole. I like the term better half more, because it's I know, right now, I know that I am happy by myself. I am whole and I'm complete by myself. My boyfriend, my partner, he asked to that, but if we were, for some reason, something were to happen, I know in myself that I was still, I mean, of course it would hurt, because I love him, that's my boo, but I know that I'm enough by myself. I know I can hold it down by myself, and I know I'm complete by myself. And that's something that I wish I knew before. And if I really I know my end goal is to start a nonprofit for teenage girls, to get them to know these lessons, because I feel like it's very, 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 very important for them to know these lessons, because I feel like it's people out there that prey on people who don't have self-love, and people out here who prey on people with low self-esteem. It's people out there in this world that's waiting to prey on them and to take advantage of them, that need somebody, they just need somebody to pour into. A lot of these teen girls, they need someone to teach them the lessons. They need someone to teach them about applications, job
Yeah.
applications. They need someone to teach them about career goals. They need someone to teach them about options, because some people don't think college is an option, and even
Yeah.
though some people may not be able to sit in the classes, they can go to trade school. They can pick up a trade. Like, I never, like, when I was applying after high school, I didn't know anything about trade school. I never knew that that was an option for me. People made it seem like if you don't go to college, then you're dumb. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay for you. It's actually real smart for you to go to your local community college, get all your basic classes out the way, then transfer to another college to take your major classes. And I feel like little stuff like that, I would love to create I'm seeking it into existence that I'm going to create a nonprofit for.
No, I don't blame. No, I see it. I see it, and I know it's needed.
Yeah.
Because, and it's so funny because I was just talking to my partner, saying how, like, we grew up different compared to today's generation. We didn't have, DoorDash or Uber Eats to be our first drive, like, of a, a job of some form. Like, today, do it through your phone. Kids is knowing about stocks and everything. And I'm like,
right.
Okay, I'm like, like, they know more than what we do instantly just by the phone. And like us, like, I knew for me when I grew up, my mom, shout out to my mom, but she had me involved with the community and doing my community service, and then it branched off to doing, more. Into definitely Ambition said, "Hey, Nikki D,
hey, you missed it. We was just talking about you earlier, but
it was just such a cool, like, experience from having that as a child, and sad to say, see, another thing too, when they finally have programs like this with community service or getting kids involved into, any type of program, those program funds start being taken away.
Right.
And that's another problem. We, like, us as a community, are not being community. Oh, thank you, Ambition. I love you too, baby. But I noticed that it is needed, because in today's world, I mean, once again, they're there. I know ideally there's programs for the younger generations, especially for young ladies and young men, because there are single fathers, young teen fathers too, who equally needs that help as well too. It just starts with one. Right. And going back from the beginning of what you say, have a faith of a mustard seed. So just by you saying that you want to, it's already been done.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to. Like, it's going to happen. The nonprofit is going to happen, because I feel like it's needed. And like I said, poetry is much more than an open mic. It's seeing the need in the community. And a lot of people, we sit down and complain, our community don't have this, our community don't have that. Okay, maybe you would put on this, maybe you would put in that community to become the resource. Like, we're so quick to, like, just complain about resources that's not there. But listen, like, if I gotta be the plug, I'm gonna be the plug to help the next generation. Like,
you said like, to the next generation. Oh my God, you said I'm gonna be the plug to the non-program. Like,
no, I'm saying, because like I feel like they're like, with teen girls, it's like people, they can go on and learn how to twerk. They can go on learn how to roll weed. You could go on and like learn how to finesse and learn how to like niggas. Like, why can't you turn to a place to know, like, basic etiquette? Like, when I was a teen, I hated it. I really hated my mom for it. But me and my younger sister, on Saturday, we went to etiquette classes. Like, I hated it, but now it's like, like, I'm a better person for it.
Yeah.
And then, like, just being in my position and my job, a lot of people don't know basic etiquette when it comes to these interviews.
Yeah.
They don't know basic etiquette when it comes to resume. They don't know, like, when you have an interview, just to send a thank you letter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just, like, I feel like my nonprofit would really, really, really just basic stuff like that. And like it all starts with poetry. It all fused off of
Yes.
my poetry, and it's all connected with the message of self-love. Because like I
Yes.
said, once you have self-love in one area, you're gonna glow up and level up in all areas of your life.
100. No, seriously, 100. And I wanted to also bring back to the poem that you just performed too. I love that you repeated they built you up and then they be the same one to break you down. You mentioned that about like 3 times. Um and you emphasize it so perfectly, definitely perfectly. I wanted to know, why did you emphasize on that? Why was it really a predominant part to be repeated? Because it's like staying here.
I feel like so many times in like relationships, as especially like in the relationships I know that I had that were toxic. We hang on to those moments. We hang on to all the goods. Like, well, he does this for me. He treated me this way. But like with every with every good thing, there was something negative that came with it. Okay, yeah, he would buy you stuff, but he would treat you like trash. Oh yeah, he would like the sex was amazing, but then like y'all can't have a conversation if y'all not sleeping together. So I feel as though it's really important to like pull the wool over your eye, because so like I said in the end of the poem, sometimes we are so blinded by this potential. We see ourselves running off in the sunset with this person that we're not really taking them for face value. And like my dad always said, if someone shows you their true colors, like you're not going to repaint the picture of somebody.
Yes.
If they're set in their ways, they think they're perfect. We're not, and so many times we think you can change people. And I'm gonna just speak from my perception. I was a church girl, so I thought I can pray people out of a lot of situations. I thought that like I had faith in God, and they said that prayer work. All I need is this faith of a mustard seed. So here's this man who I know I want to be with. So I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna fast. I'm gonna do whatever I can to change this man. But in reality, if he don't see any fault in his actions, he ain't gonna change. And like, I don't got time to be raising nobody grown behind me. No, like that's dead. And I know a lot of people will do that. I have another poem called Sneaky Link, which is like a single. And I know a lot of people think, you may have heard it because I do it a lot. But a lot of females gravitated to it because they feel like it's a nigga ain't shit poem. When in reality, it's like, no, it's not about niggas not being shit. It's about you knowing your worth and you not being scared to say, listen, I'm not a sneaky link. I want a relationship. These are my expectations in a relationship. And if you can't meet it, then bye to the next, because somebody's going to meet the expectations. A lot of people, and I know me myself, I'm only talking from experience. So nobody don't say I'm talking about you, because I'm talking about old Nikki. Like in the past, like I would get into these situationships thinking like, oh, my vagina is like mad popping, so that's gonna make them want me to be that girl. And then I would just be overplaying myself in people's life and end up looking stupid and dumb. Like, we're not doing that no more. And then I have to talk about how I look stupid and dumb for you to understand that. But then it's like, because people see me now, and they see the relationship I'm in now, and they're like, "Oh my God, he make you so happy." Yeah, it's not about him making me happy. It's about me already being happy.
Be happy
me already
yourself.
me putting in the work in myself so I can enjoy that. Because even if he's a great man, don't get me wrong, my boyfriend is a great man, but if I wasn't him, I wouldn't even be able to appreciate him. Yeah, because I would still be bringing the stuff from the toxic relationships into this relationship. Yeah. And then sneaky link is not bashing people who just want to be a sneaky link, because I did have that time in my life that all I wanted was a sneaky link as well. So if you want it, it's not a bashing piece. Like, listen, if that's all you want is a sneaky link, it's really about a woman empowerment poem. Let you know, like, if you want to be a sneaky link, go ahead and do you, boo. Or if that's all you want at the time, because like I said, that's all I wanted at once upon a time, or I wanted with some consistent penis. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm sorry for all my church people that's watching, but a girl got needs. So at once upon a time, that's all I wanted, and I established that. But if you want a relationship, don't turn into a sneaky link. Don't try to have a hot girl summer when you know you can't. You know you're not Megan Thee Stallion. You can't do that heartless stuff, and you want to be hype having a hot girl summer, but then in the winter you're gonna be cold and crying.
Hello.
That's all I got to say on that topic.
Cut and print. Beautiful, everybody.
Don't make me this okay, because I can run my mouth all day. Okay.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth, because the overall thing of it is that when it comes, the number one relationship that all of us just truly, truly need, and we truly search for, is a relationship with God. Because the way that you have the relationship with God is the way that you have the relationship with yourself. Mm-hmm. And then that person will come right along. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why you love your boyfriend so much, well, because he watched anime, and that's why he.
Yo, no, don't lie. When I got off the phone with you, I called up. I was like, yeah. She was like, I'm not worried about you cheating because you watch anime.
You watch anime. Listen, you guys want a faithful relationship? If your partner is watching anime, they faithful.
Yo.
I'm just joking. I'm joking. But
I kid. He said something. He was like, yeah, I guess that's kind of true.
No, it's just that it should just be something that you should, relationships is just, something to blossom, something to just have amazing, great times. And it should, because it's not just, a partnership. It's also friendships that could be toxic. There could also be toxicness in the work field.
Yes.
In, even in the families. Like, if you don't take a moment and take heed of acknowledging that, but verbal abuse comes in all forms. Mm-hmm. Not just, two people who are in a couple. These things can happen no different in a relationship with your parents or with your grandparents or with, a person who is actually supposed to be, your teacher in high school, and then all they do is talk negative about you. And
exactly.
That's relationships is, once again, it's a bond. It's a trust matter. Mm-hmm. And the number one consistent trust matter that you can always have in that bond is God himself. Exactly. And I can tell you, I've witnessed it myself, because my page is here because of him. And, it's people just like you, Ambition, and multiple people who are just so fascinated with their artistry that I get to connect to because of the higher being. Because everything works when he say it works, and he's telling the truth on that one.
Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy because, like, you don't see like his divine plan, and like we're thinking like we out here worrying when like he already got us. That's crazy. Like it really be crazy when you think about it. Like, because I didn't know when I slid into your DMs that you was going to reach out to me. I just listen. She do thorough interviews, so I want to interview. I didn't know that I was already on your radar. Shout out to Ambition, because he always mentioning my name and rules. Yeah. I have no idea in conversations that's going on. So shout out to him, and like get people in your corner like that. Like he always like if it's a way to pull me in, he'll pull me in. And like I be having people email me like, yeah, Ambition told me your name, and I'm just looking like you did it right. And but like you need people out there that genuinely just wants to, like, he don't have no type of ulterior motives, like
no,
like he just, I mean, you know him, he's like just like legit wants to see people win, and he wants all the hardships that he went through in his first years of being an artist or trying to get his name out here. He wants to avoid that for the next person, and that's what you have to do. Like I'm not saying like I'm not going to see another female poet and not try to help them away because I think they about to step on my bag. Like I say this all the time. Like it doesn't matter, even if it's another self-love poet. our audience are two completely different audience, and it's so many people out in this world. Like, I may say something that may touch somebody in a way that you can, and vice versa. You may say something that may touch somebody in a way that I can't, and like both of them people deserves to be touched, and both of them people need to hear both of our messages.
Well, there we go. And now I gotta ask, but it's so sad because I don't want this to end. This is only the beginning. But how do you, Miss Nikki the poet, change the world with your art of words? How do you do it with your poetry?
Um, Basically by giving an example and like letting people know that like if you want to do something, to go out and do it. And because for years, like I was saying before, like for years I thought that nobody would care. For years, like I thought that mine wouldn't matter. I like if you would have told me, if you would have told teenage me that I would be the spoken word artist about to be in a play next week, I would you like you was stupid, because like this was beyond my imagination. And the way it happened, like I only been performing in July, it'll be 2 years, and I know a lot of people who's been performing way longer than me, they really haven't got to the level that I've been at. And I think it really shows my tenacity. It shows having great people in my corner. And even though like Ambition, like he's a legend and he's my coach, I have to put in that work. So like you really have to put in that work. You really have to invest in yourself. And if you want to do something, start that business. I don't care how many customers I don't care if nobody shares your stuff. And then a lot of things, and I'm gonna say this, I promise I'm gonna let you go because I just be that. But my biggest hurdle during my first year was I felt as though automatically all my family and my friends were supposed to perform, was supposed to support me. I thought if I dropped the book, they were going to automatically buy my book, or they were going to automatically be in my shows. But they may not be in your audience, and that's okay. And just because they support you, that don't mean the love is fake, or they not real, they not really team down with you. Which I thought, like I had an attitude. I'm like, y'all supposed to be gang, and y'all not even supporting me. But they're not your audience.
Yeah.
You have to focus on your audience. You have to focus on your why. My audience is the former shy girls, or the shy girls that's still in that corner that need help coming out that corner. And it doesn't matter to me, because I was doing a workshop basically showing people how to create a website. And I thought that joint was going to be sold out, because I also do graphic design as well. I wear many hats. But I didn't get not one person to sign up for that website. And, I could have been like, dang, it could have discouraged me. But at the end of the day, I know it's people out there that need my work. I know it's people out there that still needs to get this message. So even if I put out a book and it don't really sell, guess what? 10 years from now, somebody's gonna find that book and be blessed by that book. So I still have a job to do, no matter what the numbers look like. And as long as you're focusing on your why and you're not looking at the numbers, you'll be good, you'll be straight. But if you focus on the numbers, I guarantee you probably gonna quit in like a week.
Yeah. It's all about just enjoying this faithful walk. That's what it is.
And what you love. Like a lot of times people's like, do you love poetry? Are you doing this for the poetry, or are you doing this for the audience? Like I love performing. I love poetry. And I never thought that I would be somebody who loved performing.
Exactly.
Not me, because even sometimes like I come in the room like, oh, I still want to like get back in the corner sometimes, but I know like I have a voice and I have power behind my voice, and people need to hear my voice. So I can't get it. Unfortunately, I can't be in my corner sometimes. I can't be in my corner no more.
Exactly. It's all about trying something new, and being willing for change. Change is not easy. I'm definitely one of those people. I have a hard time with change, but you just got to be willing to just be open and go with the flow and take the chance while you got the shot, because you never know. You may not get that shot again, and that door may not open again. So,
Exactly.
Hey, Do what you got.
And if you don't take that charge, listen, somebody else like me is. Because people be like, oh, when people went up to perform, I don't have a pieces ready. Listen, you call me to perform, I always have five pieces ready, just in case.
Because the overall thing is, it got to be done. Mm-hmm. And it's not about who gets it done. It's about it got to get it done. So let me show the people again. Let me share the screen again. Once again, it was your beautiful girl, Nikki D, the poet. Yeah. I need you to be following my girl's page. She got all her events, all of her websites, from down to her books, and also her awesome clothing line. Let's be real. Support my girl. In addition, support her right along with the other beautiful artists that will be performing in this awesome play May 2nd with Ambition the Poet, Nettie Long, Miss We Care, Miss Christina, and definitely L.A.S.A.6875 right on the Instagram. And you guys don't have to actually physically be there. It's also virtual, from my understanding. So
yeah, we have no excuse. Be hosting right in your house, like.
So there's no excuse.
Somebody hit me up from Canada, was like, I'm going to be watching. So we're going to be international. We have someone from Canada that's going to be watching.
Go.
So what's your excuse? So buy the tickets, everyone.
Buy yourself a ticket, boo. Well, I'm so grateful and thankful. Definitely, you guys. It was Miss Nikki D, everybody. Woo! I'm so grateful and thankful for having you onto my page, blessing us with your words, your wisdom. You definitely encouraged and motivated me to definitely do what I needs to be doing. So I'm so excited to see way more with you in your upcoming book, which I plan to be getting pretty soon.
Yeah, it's dropping in May.
There we go. So I can't wait to see more and witness more of your beautiful talent. Just continue to blossom and be a blessing and be fruitful to many others. Yeah. So you guys, it's that time. We are going to love one another. We are going to hug one another virtually, safely, but also we are going to do some poetry together. And next week, I'll be seeing you guys with another poet to end this poetry month with a slam. I can't wait to see you guys again. But thank you so much, Nikki. You have a great one and definitely stay safe. Bye.